Alrighty, so for my Did You Know assignment, I was taking a look at inflation right now because that's probably one of the bigger issues that the whole world is really facing. And I was taking a look at the United States inflation, Russia's economy a bit, and also the global economy as well, and how the Ukraine war has impacted these financial markets and really has made life a little bit harder for a lot of people. So, to briefly explain what is going on in Ukraine, basically, Russia has invaded Ukraine. They've been involved since about 2014, but ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, they've always wanted to regain control of Ukraine. And so, they are currently fighting to regain Ukraine. And the United States is one of the more developed countries in the world. And so, they have been trying to assist Ukraine in all of this, and they have provided more than about $7.3 billion in security and assistance to help Ukraine to kind of arm them with weapons and fight off the Russian troops. This is basically strengthening the United States alliance with Ukraine and all the other countries in Europe. But one of the major side effects in all of this has been the inflation that we are all seeing currently in the world. So there's no doubt that the Ukraine war has impacted the financial world and the economic world pretty harshly. Um, we've seen higher inflation when it comes to certain products. Um, and inflation is set to reach about 7.7% this year. And more of the items that are getting hit hard are the commodities. So um, a list of just a small list of a few of the commodities that are getting hit really hard by this inflation crisis is gas. As you can see, about $7 a gallon in certain areas, probably up to 8 now. Here in Indiana, I believe it's about in between $5 and $6. Um, but it's absolutely insane. We see like metals, we see wheat and corn. Wheat and corn are especially getting hit hard as the Russia and Ukrainian region is responsible for roughly about 30% of those global exports. Um, there are supply chain issues, there are shortages. I mean, we just came off of a pandemic and then now we're starting a war. So it is really like making things incredibly challenging for people who just already got hit from a pandemic. They're trying to get back on their feet, and then now we have super high prices because of start of a war. So man, it is crazy. So I wanted to show this graph here on this slide, which is a just an outlook of the global world and the global growth. Um, and pretty much it has weakened. The global growth has decreased um, because of this invasion of Ukraine. As we see in 2022, from February to May, the GDP um, dropped pretty significantly, about a full percent. Um, and then the CPI has increased also very significantly, meaning that everything has gone up in price. Now, there's a prediction that for 2023 it'll kind of even out, but overall our GDP decreases, um, and that's not good. That's not good for the entire world. What this means is there's going to be more crime and civil disorder, and hopefully we don't see it. But investors, they actually expect that the central banks will introduce more aggressive interest rate hikes to kind of control these prices. And some analysts have said that the financial markets obviously are filled with high inflation and supply chains struggling to stay alive, but it's showing similarities to the nuclear power plant Chernobyl. And as kind of like a history nut, I found this kind of interesting the way they put it. So basically, one analyst said that the reactor is going critical. So meaning that um, this like kind of financial crisis could explode because of what is going on. And I just find that to be pretty important. You know, we need to understand what's going on in the world financially. So um, I figured, why not also look at how Russia has been impacted as well, because they're the ones starting pretty much all of this chaos and starting a war. So Russia, their economy has been impacted pretty harshly, but Russia is not relenting. They're going to keep fighting this war. We've issued sanctions, but Putin, he's not stopping. He's going to continue along. So basically, what has happened in Russia is they've experienced higher inflation as well. They're experiencing shortages. Their currency, the ruble, has lost like almost all of its value. Their their unemployment is set to increase. Russia has lost sales to those neighboring European countries. Um, Russia is expected to see their GDP drop about 15% as well. So they're getting hit really hard. And so I think the real question that we're all wondering is like, when will inflation slow down? And so, according to President Biden, he said he will take some measures to fix the supply chain issues and bring down the budget deficit. But Biden, he's pretty much saying that the Federal Reserve is going to have to do a lot of this implementation of policies so that we can see inflation slow down. And really, it's kind of a matter of time. People believe that, if the war slows down or if it pretty much stops and then these policies get implemented, then we will see inflation slow down. But so long as if the war continues, then the inflation will continue to go up, or at least remain at the same level that it's going. So I think this is really important to understand, and especially finance and in the financial world, that um, we need to see, like, what will happen in the future. So uh, that's pretty much it for my Did You Know assignment. I found this to be very interesting, and especially with the finance stuff. So thank you for listening.